Afternoon, men, ladies. Nice to see you.
How you doing, Coach?
Pretty good. Had a nice open week. We did some recruiting, did some self-scout, and coordinator was pretty comfortable with the logistics of what we call things, and so felt like we got a lot accomplished.
You ready for questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Okay, we can sit there for a while longer. I might leave. Hey, that was good.
So, what's impressed you about Brent Dearman so far as you've kind of worked a little bit closer with him, I'm guessing, the past week or so?
He's just got a really fresh approach, and he's been fun for our players to work with. And, he's played quarterback and just kind of seems to fit in that quarterback room for us.
And then I guess some of the other skill positions, how involved is he with them now? I'm guessing a little bit more involved, even if he's focusing on quarterbacks, like if he's working with the running backs and receivers, what type of dynamic is there?
I think he's got a great relationship with the team, or certainly starting a great relationship with the team. I think there's opportunities to throw and catch, and I think anytime there's opportunities to throw and catch, the receivers like to hear that from the guy that's calling the plays.
If you have a question, raise your hand and we'll bring the mic over.
You can keep it.
Okay.
Hey, now, damn it, let's be authoritative. I got the microphone, thank you.
I just get a stand here.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I'll take it back. Wes, your decision to make the change in offensive coordinator, would you say that was more about instruction and coaching during the week or play calling on Saturdays?
I just thought that I thought the initial hire was the best hire, okay, and I felt like that there needed to be change, and I think Wes did a strong job. I think he worked hard. We just needed a change, and that's change philosophically, as I saw it. And so, but again, I think Les is a quality man and did a great job for us. And it's time for us to look at Dearman.
When you said initial hire, did you mean Les or Chip?
Pardon?
When you said initial hire, were you talking about Les or Chip?
The initial hire was Les.
Okay.
Scott.
Hey, Coach, I'm just curious, how did you first identify Brent Dearman as a candidate to kind of work with you guys as an analyst?
Yeah, well, his name kind of floated around Auburn, and I have some friends in football, and they said that he would be an ideal coordinator. And what I was trying to do is put myself in a position where I could, if need be, go to the next man. And lessons have been taught. And you can kind of see some of the other schools. The Alabama made a nice change. Kiffin kind of exit, and Lane's a tremendous coach, but it was a good change for Alabama.
Kevin.
Hey, Coach, I'm sure the kids have noticed some changes in practice. I'm sure you've noticed those changes on offense as well. How different will it look on Saturday to fans and people that are watching? Will it be pretty noticeable?
Yeah, I think I think there's some similarities and some dissimilarities. So I don't know if they'll find it unusually different, but yeah, I don't think that they'll. I think it'll look hopefully more successful. But
If you have a question, raise your hand.
So has Drew Prox been able to practice at all yet, and would he be available this week at Texas?
Yeah, I do not see Drew Brox being available to us this weekend.
I wanted to hit on the change at OC again. With Canning, what exactly was not working out?
And nothing was not working out. I just felt like there was an opportunity to be better.
With the self-scout stuff you guys did on the bye week, defensively, what did you kind of key in on? What did you learn about the defense and what you guys need to do going forward?
Well, the good news is that they're a pretty talented team, and will I think they're the kind of team that will continue to play and play and play. I like the 4 down or 3 down up front, and I like the linebacking core. I think the team gets better.
Hey Les, how important was it for you guys to get out on the road and just go out and see some of the recruits for the first time since the season started?
It was really one that was fun. You know, it was nice to see high school football, and we were, you know, in the state of Kansas, and you know, the Kansas footprint, and it was good. It was I think people that it was a very comfortable, you know. They knew and recognized the brand.
If you have a question, raise your hand and we'll bring the mic to you.
Hey, Les, after Chip did leave you guys, was there consideration to just giving Brent a shot at offensive coordinator right then?
Again, you know, I don't want to kind of continue to go over what happened. What seems to be a year ago. We hired the best guy that we felt like that could put us in position to win, and then we turned to Dearman, and so I think it's going to work out really well.
I also wanted to ask you, you have from social media a very famous quote about Columbus Day. I don't know if you had anything else to say about Columbus Day today.
Well, I can tell you again that it's a favorite day of Italians, because Columbus certainly was Italian, Magellan was Italian. There was a lot of Italians that enjoy Columbus Day, and again, to paraphrase a quote from a wise old coach, this is not St. Paddy's Day. This is an entirely different day altogether. St. Paddy's Day is generally more festive and celebrated with green, which green's just the only color that we don't have. So
Scott.
that's as good as I can do on short notice.
Hey, Coach, wanted to ask about Carter Stanley. You've gotten to see him for 6 weeks now. I guess what improvements are you looking for him to make over the back half of the season?
We just want him to play like he played at Boston College, and he is. He's getting better and better, and that's the style of leadership that we want. And yeah, I think he'll prove to have a back end as strong as some of the front end games that he played well in.
And then on the other side, Sam Ellinger for Texas. What have you seen from him, and what challenges does he present?
Well, Sam is a big, strong, full-grown quarterback, and he handles the short yardage plays. He's a great wildcat at times, and yet his passing stats, he's thrown for 1,600 yards and 7 touchdowns and an interception and 5 rushing touchdowns. So he's a focal point for the Texas offense and very good player.
He remind you of anyone you've coached against?
Well, Tebow a little bit, you know. Tebow was maybe a little bit more, maybe a little faster, maybe a better runner, but not much.
Back in the back.
Coach, with Tom Herman now at coach for the past couple of years with Texas, how have you seen that offense develop with him at coach?
I think I think him turning to Sam made a difference, and I think that and I think he's got running backs and big, strong offensive linemen and a now talented quarterback that's in place and making plays. I think the offense is growing.
Are there any other questions?
Hey, Coach, any good, interesting, funny stories you have from the Oak State days of playing Texas? Anything that stands out or anything that would have been funny from your trips back to Austin?
No,
Maybe not.
thought about a couple of them, but no.
None of those like that guy from Oklahoma that was your buddy that you told us about last time? No UT fans like that, or you said the one guy used to always go after you in Norman?
Yeah, oh no.
No Texas fans?
The Texas fans have always been, a real quality group of folks that show up at the stadium and generally speaking are very civil to the visitors.
Matt.
Coach, after the bye week with the second half sort of ahead of you, what do you look at with freshmen? I mean, should they have learned enough to make a noticeable step in this second half, or?
Yeah, and there's a necessity at times, and the good news is we put them in a position to improve as they've gone on, and hopefully now we're in the back, certainly a half and the back half of this season, those guys will be counted on to make big plays.
You like what you've seen so far that
Yeah,
they'll do that?
I think as I visualize the linebackers.
Yeah.
I think we'll be fine.
Last one with Benton.
I think you said this morning you guys practiced 3 times last week during the bye week. What did those practices look like compared to a typical game week, and then how much were you able to get some extra prep for Texas?
We certainly turned to Texas pretty routinely, but we were making sure that we were putting in those things that would be comfortable for the season. And but there's some similarities between some of the fronts that we've played and Texas. So, we've prepared pretty extensively for Texas and this week.
All right, thank you.